Andarna is not cutesy. She's just a little more sassy. I haven't done a crochet video in so long, and Snowcation made me realize just how much I miss it. So let's do another dragon video. Hello friends, I'm Brittany. I'm the ginger behind Ginger Patch Designs, and I usually take people behind the scenes of what it's like to run my business out of my home, out of my shop bedroom in my home. But this week is a crochet vlog. It's been a long time since I've done one, and the whole rereading Fourth Wing, and then I'm about to start Onyx Storm has just kind of like reignited my love for making dragons. So if this clip seems really out of place, it's because I forgot to film an intro and I just started babbling away. So here we go. You're a crocheter, you probably get that itch sometimes to just try something new, like go pattern shopping, scrolling through your favorites, whatever. So that's what I did. I just wanted something new. I wouldn't say that I've lost my Crojo at all, but like the end of market season last year, I was just prepping so much of the same stuff over and over again, the stuff that sells really well. And so I think I just needed like a break from it. But let me tell you, dragons will do it for you. Dragons will help you get your Crojo back. Just trust me. Okay. So let me show you what I've already done and what I'm in the process of. I originally found my love of making dragons with Hanner-Gurumi's Odin the Dragon pattern. I did a whole crochet with me video on Odin the Dragon, and I made it in all different kinds way back in the fall. But when I was doing my creative scrolling looking for a new pattern, Hannah came out with a new pattern, her baby Thor pattern. It's basically just like the big Odin one, but it's like half the size, half the time. When I tell you I became instantly obsessed with this pattern, oh my gosh, like the little tail, it does come with two different kinds of tails. I think the Odin one, the big one, comes with like 4 or 5 different kinds of tails. This one comes with 2, but I mean, you could totally put whatever kind of tail on it you wanted. I don't love the color of the eyes that I put on it is fine, but I don't like how they're rounded out. And so this was Parfait Chunky, and it turned out just fine, but then I wanted to try it in Sweet Snuggles Light, and this was, for me, the perfect texture. I love how I used a different kind of eyes on this guy. I don't know if you can tell. These are like rounded out, and these are more flat. But he's the perfect size, perfect texture, and this is the other style of tail in the video. So I started another one just like this in pink that we're going to work on here in just a second. So I kind of went ham when I was buying some new patterns, and I bought 4. I also bought this baby dragon pattern. It's by Sweet Pea Plush. I got it on Etsy because my thinking was, and I didn't even know this was trending right now, which I probably should have given the popularity of Onyx Storm. We'll get to Onyx Storm in a minute, but I was like, I want to make Tairn and Andarna, and then if I can find the right shades of blue, I want to make Sigal. How do you say her name? Sigal? Because it reads Skill. Oh my gosh, I just butchered that. Sigal. I'm just going to say Sigal. Like, I really don't know how to say her name. I wanted to make like baby Andarna when she's gold, and then big Andarna when she's gone through her transformation and she's all black, you know. And so obviously this is not Andarna. I was just practicing. This is Bernat blanket yarn. It's really, really cute. I really love the little bitty wings on the back, and how it kind of looks like a little teddy bearish in the front. And then I had also tried it in, this is Sweet Snuggles Light. So Sweet Snuggles Light and then Bernat blanket. It just wasn't giving Andarna. Again, nothing wrong with the pattern. It's super cute. It would be a great like market make, but it just wasn't giving. Like, Andarna is not cutesy. She's just a little more sassy, and so I'll save this pattern for maybe some market prepping. The other dragon pattern that I bought was the Cressida and the Onyx pattern by Zero Gravity Crochet, and I have like a basket of pieces. I started with Cressida, This pattern has been in my favorites for probably at least a year because I like how they're standing. Like the Odin and the Thor are like the laying dragon, but this one is they're standing. Well, actually, I think yeah, Cressida is actually kind of sitting, but she's just really big with her wings. And Cressida kind of reminded me of Andarna. And then the Onyx one reminded me of Tairn. And so my thoughts were those would be my Tairn and Andarna patterns. So how does everyone else whip? Like I have a bajillion of these different size baskets that I will be working on something, and then if my crafty ADD gets in the way, I just like literally have baskets of whips like all around my room. I have actually ordered these, they look like dragon eyes and they're so cool, but they're not here yet. And so I found these on Amazon. I think these are, yeah, these are 30 millimeter. And they're really not what I really wanted, but they're kind of like shimmery. It's as close to dragon looking as I could find. But I wanted the pupil on the side. Historically in the past, like I have not been happy with safety eyes other than all black from Amazon, but these are not bad. Like, look at those. I really wanted the ones with the pupil kind of centered like that, and they're not bad. And they come with all these different colors. I'll link these down below in the description. Good morning. So I finished several more dragons last night. I'm just so obsessed with this Thor pattern. I want to make all the colors. So here's, I did an orange and I did like a green safety eye with white embellish. So we've got orange, we've got a dark green. I think I like the bigger eye better than the smaller eye for the Sweet Snuggles light. On all the ones I've made so far, I just did like the individual spikes. But on this one, I did try the other spike option and it's pretty cute. I did add another spike right here in between the horns, but it's super, super cute. And I also did like a pink on pink sparkly eye on those. Unfortunately, I don't think my dragon eyes that I ordered are gonna be here by the time I have to finish this vlog, which means I'll have to do another dragon video. The fourth pattern that I bought was this one by Posy Creates. It's called this Jubilee Baby Dragon. This thing is so stinking cute. So it's really tiny, and the body, you can do the body stuffed or unstuffed. I did 2 of them. This one is unstuffed. It's got little feet and little bitty arms. This is parfait chunky, and it is the perfect little texture. And then it's got the little bitty spikes down the back with the little bitty wings. It's just, it kind of, this is not like Fourth Wing vibes at all. This is almost like a fairy dragon. Like, I know that that's not a thing, but it's just so small and delicate. It's just cutesy. It's just really cutesy. And I did a sparkly pink on the eyes on that one. So I do prefer it unstuffed. The first one I did stuff the body, and it's okay, but I just think that the unstuffed is it's just more cutesy. It's more of a vibe. So this is where I'm at with the Cressida, like sitting dragon. This is the one that's sitting. Onyx is the one that stands. And I think, so I sewed all the pieces on in the correct place, but I don't know if I just overstuffed the head and I made it too heavy, because see, it's kind of droopy. You see how it's kind of droopy? It's supposed to be like up a little taller. And so I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to add some stitching on the inside of the legs right here to try and like force it to sit up a little bit more like that before I start on. So I'm going to do that before I start on the chest piece. I have to get the leg situated before I do the chest piece, and I have to do that before I start on all the backside. Look how long this tail is. I love the length on this tail, which is another reason these were giving me Tairn and Andarna vibes, because in the books, Tairn will just like whip that tail around. I feel like dragons are that type of amigurumi that like I would just never get sick of making, because there's so many different kinds, kind of like cows. Like I just never get sick of making them. They are pretty time intensive for me most of the time. So I reread Fourth Wing and then Iron Flame, which took me forever because I've just been so busy. Like I said, I've been consumed with the Q1 launch for Blush and Boots, which has gone pretty well. I'll talk more about that in just a second. But I've been sitting on this Onyx Storm. I've had it since, when did it release? January 20th or 21st? And so it's taken me so long to reread these. And I did see, I'm a rereader anyways, but I did see online where several people had said, like, make sure you reread at least the second book, Iron Flame, before you read Onyx Storm, or you might be a little lost since it's been a few years, and which I was going to reread anyways. And so I've literally been waiting to start Onyx Storm until this launch was over, because I know that I will be staying up very late, like binging this book, and I will be exhausted. So I am saving, it's literally right here on my desk. I am saving this for this weekend. My husband is taking our daughter to a daddy-daughter dance, and Mama's going to be reading. Okay, I think that kind of adding that reinforcement did help a little bit. Oh, that's perfect. It's doing it. Before, it really would not like just sit up on its own. It would just kind of do this and the legs would go out, but it's totally doing it. Oh, that is perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the chest piece. I think when I make this pattern again, because I'm pretty sure like the head and the body on the standing onyx one is the same, I'm going to sew the head like tilted up just a little bit more. Here, let me shift it so you can see if you are interested in this pattern. Like before, the legs would just go out, And this is where the haunches are supposed to be, but these legs were the issue. So I just added some reinforced stitches right here. I guess if you try this pattern and you're having that issue. And then when I do onyx, I'll know to like sew the head more at a tilt instead of downward, if that makes sense. I just realized I showed you all the mess in my room. A lot of the makers that I follow, like their shop rooms or their offices are like pristine all the time in every video, and I'm just, sidebar, kudos to them. I'm not knocking them at all, but I'm just like, I don't know how they do that. Like, I try to keep it tidy-ish, and if I have a pile of like in progress stuff or just a pile of stuff that needs to be put away that's been purchased, I try and like shove it in the corner out of the video. But it's just like, I don't know how they have time. I would literally have to be cleaning my room like every day, and I just can't do that. I say that also thinking, should I really film tomorrow? Because my house needs to be cleaned. It's so bad. Like, I really struggle balancing work-life balance, and I work at home. I know that sounds really backwards. You would think that I would be able to get all the things done since I'm here, but it's still a struggle, especially once again, doing launch things. It's just a lot sometimes, like running the business by yourself, doing all of the things. Okay, this is getting cumbersome. Is it really like turning the whole thing every single time? Oh my gosh, it is. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna improvise. So instead of literally turning the thing like this every time, I'm just gonna make the chest piece and sew it on. I know that's more sewing, but I would just rather do it that way. I do love the pattern. I mean, the pattern is very realistic. I feel like the head on this one is the most realistic that I've made of all the patterns, even though Thor and Odin are my favorite. Just the angle of the face into the snout. And I think when I make onyx, I'm gonna make this bobble stitch bigger, just more, I don't know, Tairn just seems like he would have just really big snout. What are these called? Are these the nostrils? Nostrils. I just feel like Tairn would have like really big nostrils because he's, you know, like a grumpy old man. I like how the eyes turned out too. Look at that. So I realized today that I'm still going to make Tairn and Andarna, but I feel like in this video, I'm probably only going to get Andarna made because, let me explain why. I have like the perfect golden shade. This is Parfait Chunky, and it came in the mail yesterday. And I have plenty of black Parfait Chunky and even like a dark blue that I could use for Segal. Somebody please tell me how to say her name or send me a link like of how to say her name. But anywho, I just really, I mean, if you're a crocheter and you've used Parfait Chunky, you know like that it's kind of on the thinner side. And I love the color selection of Parfait Chunky. And I really wish that Sweet Snuggles Light or the Chanel Slim, whatever that is from Michaels, that's like pretty much the same thing. I wish that they had better color selection because this texture and sheen and everything is like one of my favorites. Like, I've actually been using this more lately than Bernat Blanket, which is saying something because I'm a Bernat girly. I should have learned my lesson the last time I did this, but the Michaels that is an hour from my house, because I live in Podunk, it always says that, like if you look online before you go to the store, it says that it has certain colors in stock, and then you go to the store and it's not there. So I should have just ordered the black that I wanted online so that I would be able to make it. And so I don't know when I'm going to be able to get that. I also wanted to tell everybody that I finally have a plan for my market vendor series. So I'm doing this like mini series about like everything to do with being a market vendor. And honestly, even if whether you're like a newbie vendor or you've been thinking about trying some local markets in your area, or you're a seasoned vendor, you've been doing it for a few years, I have about 7 short-ish videos planned. They'll be like anywhere from like 5 or 6 minutes. Like my goal is 10 minutes max. So they're just quick listens and that you can just listen to them like while you're cooking, cleaning, working, or whatever. You don't have to actually watch it. But I've compiled like a lot of really valuable information. The first one is going to be about scams, because that is like, before you even get into like how you become a vendor, I feel like when you're on your search for events and trying to scope out like, you know, just events in your area, the scamming is so bad. Like literally a week ago in my local hometown, I wouldn't say it almost happened to me because I caught on to it really quickly, but like it's bad. And so I feel like that was the perfect one to start with. So if you are, you know, at all interested or actively are a market vendor, just know that I'm going to start filming that series next week. Today is Thursday. I'm going to start filming that next week, and I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to release them, because I feel like I don't want them to be like the main video for the week. I still want to do like my studio vlogs, my behind the scenes, like making the things, crochet and whatnot. So I'm thinking they might be like midweek releases. I usually release my studio vlogs on Mondays, and I just realized I'm talking like really fast. Maybe they'll be like Wednesday or Thursday release videos, and maybe, but there's 7 of them so far, so I'm like, do I really want to space them out over a month and a half? You know, so let me know your feedback on that. I don't want to release them like back to back to back, boom, 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 and just like blow up my channel in like a week and a half. I don't want to do that. So let me know in the comments, like, what do you think I should do? Should I release like 2 a week, like 1 every Wednesday? Like, if that's something that you would be interested in, let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. Okay, I think I'm almost done with this. 4, 6, 8. I am astounded by how this turned out. Like, it's amazing what just adding the chest plate and the wings and the finish on the tail, which this part actually was like super fast. It looks like it takes forever, but it only took me like 10 minutes. But wow, the detail is so cool. I think my favorite part about this one is definitely the tail and the haunches. I like how like chubby the haunches are, so it makes it look more realistic, and just the length of the tail is just really, really cool. And I feel like even though this one came with this tail option, you could put whatever tail on it you wanted. Feather tail, morning star tail, like you could definitely freehand something else. Oh.
Saw you counting outside of time. There is a sense that goes beyond our little brains.
Good morning, friends. Today is Friday. I have to leave in about 20 minutes to go drop off the wholesale order that I finally finished. So I started Andarna last night. this is what we've got so far. I used the Cressida pattern again, and I tilted the head like I said I was going to, and I placed, I think the trick was for the body part. I had the body overall tilted too far this way, and so I literally did it almost upright. I don't know if you can tell. Like, the trick to this one is when you're sewing on the pieces, and definitely use, if you have Amy sticks or just like some really skinny dowel rods. I don't know that I would have been able to achieve this without some sticks, but it's to just keep the body straight when you're placing all the other body parts, and that worked really, really well. So let's chat about post-launch things while I'm working on the tail. I also definitely played yarn chicken. So this is Parfait Chunky in maize, and I had ordered 2 skeins of it, and this is all that's left. And I'm gonna use this same color to do the spine instead of an accent color. I used accent, like a gray accent on the wings and the, I cannot think, talons. Oh, I need to brush up on my dragon lore. Anywho, Andarna, baby Andarna is like completely gold. I tried to look up some pictures. I just felt like she needed at least some gray accents on the wings and the claws, but I'm going to do gold on the spine accent. I also downsized to a 4.5 crochet hook since I was doing the Parfait Chunky. I have tried to start talking like 3 times, and I can't talk and do the spine at the same time. So real quick, so I launched my Blush and Boots collection a week ago Friday. Today's Friday, so it was a week ago. And honestly, it went about how I thought it would. And let me explain. I don't mean that negatively. So I made 4 sales. So here's the thing. I'm still a fairly new channel, number one. I don't pay for marketing, and I'm still working on building up my social media following, if you will, because social media is also marketing for your small business. And so when I say that it went about how I thought it would, I was not expecting like dozens of orders all in one weekend. I was not expecting like all these people to be like waiting on the site. I set very realistic expectations, okay? And I'm also not saying any of this for like sympathy or anything like that. If you're new here, I just try to be very real and honest and transparent. And also, like, if you're also a small business owner and you follow makers online, like there's like big launch videos and packing hundreds of orders, and I genuinely am so happy for those business owners. I follow a lot of them, like, sincerely. That's just not where I am in my business. I'm working my way there. Honestly, long story short, if you're new here, I left my teaching career not even a year ago to take my hobby business full time. So I'm still very much in that period of growth for my business. So setting realistic expectations for my first ever launch was very important. Did I wish I had more sales? Yeah, but I got 4 sales, okay? And I just had to tell myself 4 sales is better than no sales, okay? I know that based on in-person market sales, that what I make really resonates with people. People love it. Like, I have worked very hard on making my brands, patterns, colors, all of those things just much more cohesive. So in person, people literally, I will see them double take and stop at my booth and this and that. And that's relevant because in-person feedback, like watching people's body language, trying to listen to what they're saying to their friends that they're with, you get a lot of feedback. And so I'm saying all that to say, I know based on in-person sales that it's not my product. I think my problem is visibility. And so even though I only made 4 sales, I just need to work on visibility. I need to work on pushing my products out there more in a more natural, organic way, and just keep chugging along, and good things will come. And I hope that was encouraging to someone that was watching. I need to get this finished because I have to leave in like 10 minutes. I'm going to attempt to crochet and talk at the same time again. We'll see how it goes. But I also just wanted to add, like, I have this feeling that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, as far as, you know, I feel really good about my decision to leave the classroom. I feel really good about what I'm doing right now. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like God has put these skills and this passion within me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm just going to keep chugging along, plugging along, and my time will come. I made it 2 stitches and I already lost where I was. I cannot crochet in chat.
Could you believe me? I turned away just as the lines beyond my shadow hesitate.
I finally have Andarna finished, which is perfect because I have to leave like right now. Here she is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so look at her. I went with green. So I don't remember the book saying what color eyes she has. So I Googled it and I just really couldn't get an answer. And so I went with, I mean, you can't go wrong with green when it comes to dragon eyes. She is absolutely perfect. Okay, let's go through all the details because I changed a few things from the pattern to just make her more like baby Andarna. Okay, just remember that. I did not do the chest piece because she's a baby. I made the horns a little bit shorter and less tall and bent, and I made them come back just a little bit. And then I did, I did gold spikes instead of gray because she's supposed to be completely gold. And then I did my best to make like a feather tail. I added all of these slip stitches coming off with all different lengths. So she's got like a true feather tail. I'm so happy with how she turned out. So she's going to be on my shelf back there. And as far as Tairn, so she's Parfait Chunky, and I'm just afraid that if I use Parfait Chunky, Tairn is not, he's not going to be big enough. And I won't be able to get a Sweet Snuggles Light or that Chanel Slim. I think black is in the Chanel Slim. I won't be able to get the black in either the Chanel Slim or the Sweet Snuggles Light here in time before this video needs to go up. So I think I'm just going to stick with Old Faithful and I'm going to do Tairn in Bernat Blanket yarn. And I will start that tonight probably and hopefully finish that up tomorrow.
Lost. Is that such a bad thing? I let it go and watch as the world turns without my officious way.
Okay, the sun's gone down. It's taken me forever to finish this. There's only one part of Tairn that I didn't finish, and it's on the tail. So I debated whether to like put this in next week's video, but I just really wanted to get it in this week's video because it took me forever. It's literally Sunday night, and I have to finish this video and get it posted for tomorrow. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I made some modifications to the Onyx pattern to make him more Tairn, like grumpy Tairn, grumpy, angry old man Tairn. So, okay, are you ready? Okay, I turned a lamp on so we can see, but here he is. I love his face. Look, okay, so let's go through all the details. So I used Onyx by Zero Gravity Crochet, and he is the standing one, so all the legs are standing. I did add some reinforced stitches, like I stitched on the legs here and then added some reinforced stitching here. Just they're a little bit wobbly, but when you want to stand him up, if you just put the legs directly under him, he will stand up. And I did do the large picot for the tail. Now for his Morningstar tail, so I was trying to look at pictures of the Morningstar tail, and there was like some mixed things. So I wanted to get the bulb part. So I modified this pattern. It doesn't come with this, and I started with a ball on the tail. So this is the only thing I need to finish. I need to add all these tiny little spikes coming off of the tail, but I can do that and then like post some pictures of it later. And then on his head, I did the golden eyes. What I love about this pattern is it has you make these eyebrows, so it literally makes him look like a grumpy old man. I made the bobble stitch 1 stitch bigger than the pattern calls for to just make it bigger, and the horn placement, instead of making the horns like just go directly out from the head, like almost like gills coming out, I tried to put them like going this way to just kind of make him look a little more batty, you know. And the other thing, this took, I would say, almost 2 skeins of Bernat blanket using a 6.5 millimeter hook. I purposely wanted him really big, but my last skein of black was like, you could tell the pigment was not the same as the other two, and I was like, oh no. But it actually ended up being perfect because Tairn is black, like he is all black. But I used this like different pigment black for the spikes on the back and the wings and the horns, and it gave just you probably can't tell in this light. I'm gonna take better pictures tomorrow and post them on my Instagram, but it gave just enough contrast to make it work. The only other color is I did do some gray, dark gray. It's like a slate gray on the wings and then the talons. So I'm so happy with how Tairn turned out. If you loved this video, make sure and give it a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which dragon was your favorite and what would you like to crochet with me next time.